Warning. This video is disjointed as fuck. I started out with one direction and it kind of took off on its own thing, so you've been warned. Click off anytime that you don't want to watch. Enjoy. 200 videos. What's up, YouTube? Hope Nickel BBQ back with you again. Just giving a little update of some stuff I've picked up in between the last time you guys have seen me. I know I haven't been putting out videos very often, but life's busy. Shit happens. Deal with it. I've had a couple people ask me to put out more content. I don't know why the fuck you people like my channel, but hey, I'll do what I can do. I'll give you a little update of some stuff I've picked up over the last couple months that I haven't really talked about. If you follow me on Instagram, you've probably seen some pictures, but let's take a break here and show you what we got. We're calling this the Hobo Rodizio Stone. So I was looking for something to mount my Carson Rodizio on permanently. Walmart had, I think this is a discontinued model at this point, but basically it's the half charcoal, half griddle. This worked out perfectly for what I needed, and I was able to get rid of my 17-inch Blackstone and give it to Dave's Ohio Barbecue. There'll be a link up to his channel in the corner. Go check him out if you're not subscribed to him. Like I said, the only thing I like this thing, it works out for me because I got tired of moving this off grills. I just threw some pins down in here, drilled some holes, so now I don't have to worry about this thing sliding off. Alright, item number 2. This is the Schwarzbach Manufacturing Company's Conservo. So from what I've been able to gather, this thing was made somewhere around 1930, and basically if you were a housewife, this made your life easy because you could can a shitload of stuff. There's 2 shelves, driveway's on a hill, it's going to close, but basically you set the 2 shelves up inside here and put water down in the bottom, set it over one of the old Fat Man stoves, and basically you could can a bunch of food at one time. I don't know what I'm going to really do with this. As you can see, there's a little bit of corrosion on the inside that I'm going to have to do some work to. Get some light in here. I'm thinking I may be able to find some replacement grades from a different product that I think basically is the same size. So this is kind of a work in progress, but I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it other than I just want to get it back to working because that'd be fun. Alright, as you can see here, we've got the 22.5-inch Gabby grills. We've got the one that fits the Jumbo Joe, and if you notice, my Smoky Joe is gone. My Smoky Joe is currently on loan in Evansville, Indiana, Kentucky area to Keith Batag and Bologna Ring Ranch. There's also Gabby grills that goes with that. I took that down to them over Christmas and decided I'll leave it there. If I need it, I know where to pick it up, but they can dick around with it and have some fun. Honestly, Gabby grills, great. I love cooking on the thing. Let me turn you guys around here. I love cooking on a Gabby grill. I love cooking over a wood fire. You don't get anything that's over smoked. It's fun as hell to cook on. You get to play with fire. You get to raise the grate up and down. Honestly, best accessory for a Weber kettle ever. Write it down. Best accessory for a Weber. Somebody asked me for a review on the Davy Crockett Green Mountain Grill. Once the smoke starts burning a little bit cleaner, I'll kind of give you a walkthrough of it, give you my quick thought process on it. Bring you back in a second. The great parts of filming is when your fucking redneck neighbor decides to start mowing. Alright, we'll put this on hold and God knows when we'll finish up. Alright, I know sometimes these displays don't read out good on the camera, but that says 550. That's as hot as this thing will go. If you can hear the auger, that's the only downfall to this cooker, is this auger is louder than fuck. So I decided to fire this thing up as hot as it would go. And this is how I normally cook. I take one grate, put it on the bottom, put a pan. I'm not cooking anything here today. This is actually from the last cook I did, so I'll put another grate on top of the pan and basically just cook on top of that to catch all the stuff, because I don't want to mess with this and having to clean anything up. Alright, so apparently turning this thing up to thermonuclear created a shitload of creosote that's coming loose, so I'm going to have to do some cleaning here real quick. Great day for me. Alright, I don't know if I'm in frame or not, don't care. I got the Davy Crockett shutting down. I love the grill, smoker, whatever. I normally cook small things on it. One thing I will say is, I think it was last week on Friday, I had an issue with it to where I had set it at, well, by default it's supposed to fire up to 150. And I threw some ribs or something on there, and the plan was just to let them sit in some smoke for a little bit, and I come out to look and it's like running at 325. So I don't maintain this thing the proper way. I don't vacuum it out like everybody says to do every time or every other time, whatever it is. So it may be that, but it was weird because it ran up to 325 ish and then it came right back down to 150. But it freaked me out at first, so I'm not going to say it's a fault. It's probably my fault, but to whoever was asking me what my thoughts were on the Davy Crockett, you know, it says it's portable. The thing's heavier than fuck. It's like 75 pounds. I just drag it in and out of the garage whenever I'm going to use it, and you know, I like the way it cooks. It runs pretty much on, you set it at 225, the thing runs at 225. Somebody's going to ask me about how many hours you get out of the hopper full of pellets. I've run the thing for 10 hours on a full load of pellets, and it's cooked fine. Somebody's going to ask something about low temperature. I've run this thing overnight when it was 20 degrees outside. It maintained temperature just fine. I like the thing. I can't tell you whether the smoke flavor is less or more. You know, a lot of people complain that pellet cookers have less smoke. I don't necessarily like my food heavily smoked, so that may just be me, but like, I think the food that comes out of it turns out fine. If you want to, you can set it at 150. You'll get out of being in the blue smoke. You'll get more of a whiter, thicker smoke, kind of like the same thing that you get out of an Amazing Maize or the tube. If you want to add one of those, do it. I don't see the value, but I'm not eating your food. You're eating your food. Speaking of that, let's talk about rubs. All right, rubs. So these three right now are my favorite three rubs. You've got Big Mo Caisson's chicken rub. People I cook for, that's what they like, so that's what I'm using. Cosmo Q, cow cover, beef. Love this. This is kind of what I've been my go-to as of late. And this thing I picked up at a fucking bargain store. It's called Twisted Q Wicked Sweet Bourbon Seasoning Small Batch Bourbon and Brown Sugar Blend. That's kind of been my rib rub as of late. Pork rub, I bounce around. But so here's the funny thing about this rub, is you sit here and you read the label and it says small batch bourbon and brown sugar blend. Here's my problem with you guys, Twisted Q. I'm kind of a bourbon guy. At one point in time I had over 200 different bourbons in the basement, about 84 gallons. I kind of know what the fuck I'm talking about with bourbon. So when you tell me small batch bourbon, we all know small batch doesn't mean anything. And then when I go to the label here where it talks about the ingredients, it calls for artificial bourbon flavor. Look, your rub's good, but your packaging, dog shit. Like, don't lie to people. People don't like that. So speaking of rubs, here's one thing that I'm doing upon myself, and I think it would be cool if other people on YouTube did this. So I have a lot of rubs. These are all rubs I've tried. They didn't quite make the cut of what my family prefers. And when I say my family, I mean myself, Mrs. Hobo, friends and family that we cook for. They're all good rubs. They're just not in my top 3 that I showed you. So here in a bit, I'm going to go down to Houston, meet up with Suburban Barbecue and Chicken Fried Barbecue. I'm going to bring all these rubs, give them to them guys. Apparently they've got some rubs they want me to try. And basically we're going to save each other some money, because basically rubs are subjective. You know what? Hang on. I'm going to spin around for this. This is a hobo pet peeve. People talk about the best rub, or this magazine, or this website, or this rub is the best rub. There is no best rub, because what I like and what you like is different. It used to be like that when I was really big into bourbon. People would be like, ask people who have tasted hundreds of bourbons, what do you like? And the answer from the old guys was always, you may not like what I like because my palate's different than your palate. And that's where I'm at with rubs. You just gotta try shit, figure out what you, your family like, and go from there. Some people like spicy stuff. Kent Vanderweer, Daddy Dutch Barbecue and Cooking, or whatever the fuck his channel name is, sent me some seasoning that he makes up, and it's hot as fuck. I'm not gonna like that. I don't like hot stuff. I appreciate that he sent it to me. I'm gonna try it because I'm a glutton for punishment, but if you don't like hot stuff, and the most popular rub in the world by the most popular YouTuber is hot as fuck, you're not going to like it, nor should you feel like you should have to like it. So take that with anybody that's new into the barbecue game. You need to understand a few basic things, which I'm going to get to here in a second, but don't get wrapped up into somebody with a high subscriber count says something and then it's gospel. Because if you're a person like me who can look behind the curtain and see what goes on, you need to understand that there's a business side to this entire thing, and you also have personal preferences on things. Everybody and their brother's coming out with a rub these days, it seems like. It's not going to be sustainable. I hope for the people that I'm friends with that have done this, it works out for them, but when you look at the math of things, it's probably not going to. I just hope they don't get stuck with a shitload of rub that they got to eat. Alright, we're going to get to the basics here and maybe wrap this video up. Damn near forgot. Weber Go Anywhere. Greatest small grill of all time. If you don't have one and need something small and portable, buy one. Greatest grill of all time. Craycourt grates. Craycourt griddle. Don't cook bacon on the Craycourt griddle because you're going to get bacon grease down this hole, this hole, this hole, and you're going to have a huge fucking fire like I just did this weekend. Sometimes I make the most rookiest errors, but we're going to figure out how to cook eggs on here and sausage over here and make breakfast. And you guys have seen me do beef ribs and chicken. I might have done regular pork ribs. I can't remember on this thing, but this is a great fucking small grill. Ooh, that's crooked. I don't know if that's better or not. Alright, let's talk about the basics. You're a new guy, got into barbecue. Don't worry about accessories. Don't go out spending a shitload of money on shit like this. This isn't a dig at Dave, it's just a point that can be made. Even with something like that, you need to know how to run a fire. That literally should be the most important thing that you ever figure out how to do, is whether it's a Weber kettle here, or pit barrel cooker here, Junior, or the Big Green Egg, or the fucking Smoky or Jumbo Joe, or this piece of shit son of a bocce which you should never buy, or the M Grill C4, or this guy, or any of these guys, or if you're gonna be manly and get a Carson Rodizio and fucking run on actual wood fire. I'm not gonna walk into the backyard and show you all the shit that's back there. Understand how to figure out how to run a fire. If you got a kettle, figure out how to maintain temperature. You don't need a bunch of accessories and gizmos and shit. You want to buy them, do it. That's fine. But figure out how to run this thing without it first. That's what you need to do. That's literally the basics of barbecue. It's oxygen in, fires the charcoal, gases out. It's a continuous process. It runs and runs and runs. You just need to understand how to run or limit the oxygen so you can keep your temperature. Understand how as the day gets hotter, your pit's going to go up. And basically make small adjustments, let them run for a little bit. Don't fuck with it and try to chase temperatures. And barbecue is easy at that point. Most people, that's their biggest problem, and that's what gets them all worked up. Or they try to jump in balls deep before they actually know what they're doing. And they try to do big boy stuff when they don't know how to run a fire. They don't know how to make adjustments as needed. Like, barbecue is so easy, but yet if you look online, there's all the resources in the world, like forums like the Barbecue Brethren, where, you know, people bend over backwards to help you. But at the same time, you got people that don't want to learn how to crawl before they walk. And I've been in that spot myself. You just need to take a couple steps back, learn the basics. And once you learn the basics, barbecue's fucking easy. Alright guys, I'm going to get off here. This thing's probably run God knows how long. And I could do this fucking all day long. Here in a week or two, I'm working out something where basically I'm going to explain to you guys me. The inner workings of hobo, how my brain thinks, why I do the things that I do. I know a lot of people, I'm one of those people you either love or you hate. You either love the off-the-cuff, take off and run with something thing, but the only thing I can tell you is, if I tell you something, that's how I honestly feel. I'm not going to say I'm always right, but I'm not doing stuff for views. I'm saying what I think at the moment, and if I'm wrong, and I've proven this before, I'll make an apology video. Alright guys, have a good night. Bye.